It appears that the Tate brothers are yet again detained in Romania in a new trafficking probe. So if you didn't already know, back in 2023 he was investigated for human trafficking, and I believe he was also under house arrest during this investigation, which didn't lead to anything because there was no evidence of this, and they couldn't back it up with anything. So it was simply shut down, I believe, a month or two afterwards. But it was under house arrest for a long time, I believe, like 2-3 months maybe, 1 month at least. So Romanian authorities say probe relates to alleged crimes including human trafficking and intercourse with a minor. Now it is very interesting that this happens 3 days after he mouthed off on Jews and the allegations of Stalin being a Jew. Some 3 days later, he is going to be arrested for human trafficking and intercourse with a minor. Or at least the allegations put forth are as follows. It is incredibly interesting to me. So I want to read this article in full actually. So the Tate brothers, who were indicted last year on charges including human trafficking and rape, were detained for questioning overnight on Wednesday after investigators carried out searches on 4 properties in Bucharest and Ilfov County. I hope this is the county they live in, right? I'm not quite sure. Doesn't really matter. So Romania's Directorate for Investigating Organized Crime and Terrorism, DICOT, said in a statement that the new probe related to the alleged trafficking of minors, human trafficking, I believe you can say this right, sexual intercourse with a minor, influence in statements, and money laundering. I believe this is very funny because it wasn't 2 or 3 days ago that the UK revealed new plans to label extreme misogyny as terrorism, and some 3 days later he's going to be arrested. Not for the same thing, of course, but I think it's very funny. I hope he's not going to be extradited into the UK, because he's going to have a load of trouble if that happens. But I don't think that's going to happen. Might be a little hyperbolic. The controversial brothers, who have attracted millions of followers on social media by promoting an ultra-masculine lifestyle that critics say glorifies misogyny, have denied the existing charges against them, as the brothers were escorted from their Bucharest home into a police van on Wednesday night. Andrew Tate told reporters that prosecutors had gotten desperate, and I believe this is true. Someone is telling these prosecutors that he needs to shut up. What he's talking about isn't to be talked about. He is not the mainstream, and therefore he's not going to be a voice that people can hear. And I quote, "This file is even more stupid than the first one. Wait till you see. They say I have lover boyed the mother out of my children, and we've tricked them into having kids. Unbelievable," Tate said. "Wait till you see. Remember the first file and the media wasn't talking or asking, where's the evidence? This is your chance." Andrew Tate's ex-account later posted a video accusing unnamed figures of using a tried and true playbook against him and others who speak out against the establishment, invoking sexual assault allegations leveled against former US President Donald Trump and WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. If the mainstream doesn't like someone, or simply these very powerful people don't like someone who speaks out and who isn't in the mainstream sphere of influence, they want him gone, because he's going to talk about whatever he wants and not what the mainstream wants. And if that happens, they have no control over him, and he can say whatever he wants. So he can blame the Jews for everything without any real issues, because it's not going to be able to be cancelled, because it's not actually in the mainstream. This is how it works. So in July, a court appeal in Bucharest banned the Tates from leaving Romania as they await their trafficking trial, overturning an earlier ruling that granted them permission to move freely within the European Union. The ruling came after a court in April ruled that the trial against the brothers and 2 Romanian female suspects could proceed. Where does someone like this get to live? There is no place for someone like this in this world. At least not in the Western world. Nowhere. If he were to go to the US, he would probably get swatted so many times, he would probably get killed sometime. If he went to the UK, he would be thrown in jail immediately. In which Western country could this guy live in without facing fears of his life being taken from him or something? Him or his supporters. I have no idea where you can actually live to avoid all this. But it's not in the Western world, I can tell you that much for sure. So I want to bring you to this post. This is from Jake Shields. The Romanian courts have been unable to build a case against them for over a year and a half, so they invented new charges, which is incredibly interesting to me. I think that if they cannot actually build a case against him for a year and a half, maybe he's actually not guilty of it. But no, they're gonna double down on him instead. They're going to invent new charges and prosecute him for something that he probably hasn't done, or at least is not guilty of a lot of these charges, which are present right now. Somebody really wants this guy to shut up. So I want to bring into this last post. This is from Andrew Tate himself. So 9 hours into the house search, and an armed police officer looks at me apologetically and shrugs his shoulders. He said, I quote, "You made somebody very angry," end quote. I believe he's very correct. Somebody is very angry because he speaks his mind and is not controlled by the mainstream. And therefore, he needs to be charged with whatever it takes to make him shut up. I think I'll just leave it there. Leave a like, subscribe, and share this. And I'll see you next video coming up later today. See ya.